All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here because since you clicked on this lesson in the video, that this is an extra credit assignment. Now, this is part one of part two, okay? Now, a thing I want to let you guys know right from the beginning, this does not have enough credit to give you for one full assignment. All right, this is basically half an assignment. Okay, so if you do part one and part two, that would be for the whole assignment, okay? But again, just watching one of these does not, I repeat, does not take credit for a whole lesson we did on Zoom anytime during this grading period, okay? This is just a little something to give you a little extra points because some of you guys have been telling me, oh man, why did I get this grade? And it's like, well, like I told you, you're just this close to passing. So this should help you jump over that line. Okay. So what we're going to be looking at is the Russo-Japanese War. All right. So this is before World War One. So before the lessons we did in Zoom, this is before it. Okay. And this is another part that was kind of like building up to World War One. Okay. So let's look at the warm-up picture. All right. So the first question asks you, what two countries are represented in this picture? All right. So look at the picture. You'll see the two people. It tells you on there what they represent. The second question asks you, what do the cork and the volcano represent? Again, on the cork, the part where the screwdriver thing is going into, it does say what it is. And the volcano, it's pretty hard to miss it, but it does say there what it represents. Okay. And the last question asks you, do you think that they're putting the cork in, like making it tighter, or do you think that they're trying to pull it out? And why do you think that? Okay, so again, the third question, does it look like they're trying to tighten it in, trying to screw it in, or push it down? Excuse me. Or does it look like they're trying to pop it off? And then why do you think that? How do you justify that? Okay, so be sure you write that down. Okay, so pause the video so you can finish up your warm-up questions. But we're going to move on in 3, 2, 1. So here's the thing. 1904, Tsar Nicholas II. He rules Russia. That's him right there in that picture. And thing is, Russia is one of the largest territorial powers in the world. Russia is massive. If you look at the whole volume of land, even to this day, it's large. Okay. Now Russia has been wanting warm waters as their ports. Remember the Crimean War when they wanted to get to the Mediterranean? Same thing. They still want that warm water. And the thing is, now they want the warm water not in the Mediterranean. They're like, well, we fought through that and we got our butts kicked from Russia and Britain. Let's try the Pacific. So that's what they do. Now, again, why do they want warm waters? Because, well, for one thing, ice. Up north, where they have a bunch of their ships leaving, there's a lot of ice, glaciers, things like that. So, and the boats, it freezes, you know. So they want to get out of that. And because of that, if they get to warmer waters, trade will be easier, and their navy can have more access to go wherever they need to go. All right. Now, the thing is, Tsar Nicholas, he had his sights on Korea. Okay, Korea is a little bit south of there in the, I'm probably gonna kill this, Liaodong Peninsula. The thing is, they didn't buy it, they didn't conquer it. They basically kind of like rented it in a sense. The port in the peninsula called Port Arthur. But the thing is, they didn't want to just to lease it; they wanted to like control it. Because at any point, Korea could be like, well, yeah, we don't want you here no more. Get your ships out of here, you know. So, thing is, Japan had a real concern about Russia being in that area. Why are they having ships here? Why are they having their navy here? So they figure that Russia's trying to attack. They're trying to position themselves to attack and take over other places. Um, and the thing is, you have to remember at this time, back in the day, China and Japan hated each other. I mean, to call a Chinese person Japanese and vice versa back in the day, it was like the biggest insult you could give somebody. Okay, and that's the thing. The Russians supported the Qing Empire in China during the Sino-Japanese War of 1895. So again, Japan doesn't like Russia because they sided with China, and so now Russia's kind of in their waters, and Japan's like, we don't like them, we don't trust them, and they're probably going to try to attack somewhere. Someone, it might be us. More likely, it's going to be us. So Japan's keeping an eye on them. Now here's the thing. Um, don't take this the wrong way. You know, Japanese fighters, the soldiers, they're not weak at all. They're very tough people, but they also knew Russia was a very war-driven type of country. They're very aggressive. You know, they attack when they want something. They will try to get it, and they will attack. So what Japan tried to do was kind of make a deal with them, and they said, okay, how about this? They offered to give control to the Manchurian area. Okay, they're like, you can have this area, this and that. However, under their agreement, Russia was like, whoa, 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 wait. Okay, that's all good, but under your agreement, it says you will control the influence over Korea. And Japan's like, yeah. And Russia's like, no, we don't like that. No, we, Korea is pretty important to us too. So yeah, no, we don't accept your plan. And they basically demanded that Korea, north of the 39 parallel. So if you look at this map, you see where it says the 40 and the 38. So like right in the middle where Pyongyang is, where that little yellow square, right along there, that's the 39 parallel. And they said, this will serve as a neutral point. Okay. And Japan and Russia started going back and forth, trying to negotiate. And again, neither side really wants to give up too much. And they know each side is kind of feeling like if they give a little, the other side's going to want more. And, so negotiations broke down eventually, and Japan decided to go to war with Russia. And they did a surprise attack at Port Arthur on February 8th, 1904. So here is my first question to you. Do you think that when a person offers a peace offering, that's a sign of weakness, or do you think that that's a smart thing to do because you're trying to find a way around fighting? What do you think? What do you believe? So if someone comes up and says, hey, you know what? Instead of fighting, why don't we do this? Why don't we come to an agreement? Do you see that as a sign of weakness, or do you see that as like, oh, they're trying to avoid fighting and you're trying to find a smart way to get around fighting? How do you take it? All right, what do you believe? Okay, so go ahead, put down your thoughts. The writing prompts on the bottom to help you out, just in case you don't know how to start up the sentence. Okay, and I put the colors there so you can help you out even more. Okay, but we're moving on. So pause the video. We're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's the thing. Russia was like, whoa, what's up with this attack? They were just told like a couple hours before, we're done talking, and all of a sudden the attack happened on Port Arthur. Um, the attack really did hurt the Russian Navy in that area. So if you can see from this map, you see where Japan is, and Port Arthur is, if you look where Korea is, it's a little bit more inland. See, Port Arthur is basically surrounded. If they try to go to the west, they're going right into China. you know. So if the Japanese Navy came along where it says the Japo-Russo War, if they went in that area where the Yellow River is or Yellow Sea, um, they have them. They're not going to go anywhere, you know. So the Navy was pretty beat up. Now the thing is, our Nicholas, um, he had some bad advisors. These guys basically told him, "Oh no, no, sir, no. Yes, they attacked, but you know what? Their army, their navy, it's nothing. We will easily beat them. You know, they're nothing. They're tiny people. They can't do anything to us." And it's like, no, Japan is not to be like sneezed over. You know, these guys, they're tough warriors. You know, so again, some people said, "Well, whoa, whoa, whoa! Why did Japan attack? You know, aren't you supposed to declare war first and then attack?" No. At that time, there was no international law that said you had to declare war first and then attack. You know, there's nothing that says that at that time. That rule didn't change until 1907 uh, during the second Hague, I think I'm saying that right, peace conference. So then that's when they have to say, okay, communications are broken down, we're declaring war, and we're going to attack. You know, that's when it's like, hey, negotiations are done. They're not gonna, it's going to stop. So from then on, countries are supposed to declare war first, and then they can attack. Here's the thing: the attack on Port Arthur was not meant to truly completely destroy Russia, but basically to neutralize them, to really give them a shot in the gut type of thing. You know, if you ever been hit in the gut when your air got knocked out, you're just, you know, type of thing. That's what it was really supposed to do. The Japanese admiral basically had torpedo boats attack three large ships. All right, I'm not even going to try to pronounce those names of the three ships, but you can read it for yourself. Um, and the Japanese tried again to create a blockade in the port. Like I told you, trying to make a form a line at that yellow sea area so that no ships can come out and they could just drive in and destroy basically any ships that attacked or didn't surrender. But here's the thing: April 12th, 1904, two ships of Russia, they were out and about. They left Port Arthur in time before the Japanese could come in and, you know, basically create the blockade. Um, but the thing is, they were out to sea and they struck several sea mines. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Finding Nemo, and you see them go, "Oh, look, balloons," and you know, those are sea mines. You know, they're big. They have these little things sticking about. So if anything hits it, it'll push the trigger in and blow up. Um, the Petrovolosk, I guess that's how you say it. It sank. It was damaged pretty badly, and it sank to the bottom of the sea. The other um, ship, it didn't sink. It did hit a mine. It didn't sink, but it was really, really badly damaged. I mean, it was like limping towards the coastal area because it could not be out sea that much longer. All right, so here is your last question. Who do you think is going to win the Russo-Japanese War, and why? Do you think it's going to be the Russians? Do you think it's going to be the Japanese? Who do you think? Okay, so there's a writing prompt right there. I believe that the Russians, the Japanese, will win the Russo-Japanese War because, and tell me why. What do you think? You think it's going to be Japan because, hey, they've already struck first and they hit Russia's navy pretty hard? Or do you think it's going to be the Russians? Like, hey, this is going to be their, you know, motivation. Like, hey, these guys attacked us. You know, now we're going to really give it to them. You know, Japan's a lot smaller in size compared to Russia. What do you think? What do you believe? Okay. It's an educated guess. Don't be looking it up on Google. Just let me know. What do you believe? What do you think? Okay. So, like I said, this is an extra credit assignment, so there's no exit ticket. This is it. Okay. But like I said, this is only going to count for like half of a regular assignment. Okay. If you do the second half, then yeah, it'll count as one whole assignment. Okay. So that's it for this video, this lecture. Hopefully you guys learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Um, I will see you guys later. All right. Hopefully I'll see you in class. All right. You guys take care. You be safe. All right.